was my mother recipe. I don't think I can ever hold a candle to my mother recipe. Because like, when your mother like cooked you, she did it for you like
only a mother would do for the child.
Yeah, she mean it.
For sure. But I'm sure you're cooking for me out of love as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure it'll be nice.
Yeah, fine.
Ini special ya.
Specialnya, ha? Waalaikumsalam, Ahmad. Apa khabar? Very good.
Today I'm going to cook Burmese style chicken curry. The basic principle is just the same. We share the same recipe between a Burmese recipe and a Malaysia. The only different thing is that we don't put coconut milk into the curry.
Me in the kitchen is a dangerous thing. My wife will be jealous of you. She's like, I never help in the kitchen at home, and then I'm here with you trying to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's not such thing as like a job for woman or man.
Sure, of course.
If you do it like this, it's gonna add extra flavor.
Can I try and test my skills for a while?
And then we have to add a little bit more water, and then we have to leave it for like in a medium heat for 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
And use this soap, right?
Okay.
In Myanmar, you were clearly you had a full life. What was it like before the coup, especially?
Before the coup happened, I used to live with my mother. I was 4 months away from my graduation. The military enacted the conscription law, which basically states that every adult man between the age of 18 to 35 will be drafted at a mandatory service for military. At first, I reject. The last thing I wanted to do is to leave my mother. She is a 60 years old patient. So she said, son, if you don't leave now, when they drag you out of this house, she would have died on the spot. That's what she said to me. So this is my sister. So if you wanna ask.
Boleh borak sikit?
Boleh?
Boleh. So Rayana dalam 12 tahun ni macam mana perasaan ada dekat Malaysia?
Okey lah. Boleh cakap semua okey. Asal kita tak ada problem. Pergi pagi-pagi kerja, petang sampai rumah, makan tidur. Macam sampai 12 tahun macam jalan ni je.
Dia jalan macam tu saja.
Masuk kerja join food. Kita punya kedai join buah punya.
Ada kemungkinan diambil oleh pihak berkuasa, immigration. Ada takut yang itu tak? Ada.
Tapi dia mari kacau kita bukan. Kita join buah, kita di kedai, dia jangan masuk immigration kan, operasi kan, orang lari kita jumpa. Tapi kita pun lari juga.
Lari juga?
Kalau kita tak boleh lari pun boleh, kita ada UN punya.
Ya,
tapi
UN punya
tak mau jumpa lagi baik. Kalau you jumpa cerita banyak, nanti dia pun susah, kita pun susah.
Okay.
Betul kan?
I don't know if we'll talk about this later, but what are your hopes in Malaysia?
So it is not my place to like hope, because this is not my country. I have been told several times that I'm not an illegal migrant by international law, but I cannot deny the fact that I still am by the Malaysia government law. I don't have any other identity card. The movement I got in Malaysia is pretty constricted, pretty limited. So
maybe you're being careful with your words, Ahmad, but sure, in terms of legal status, we can say that you are this status or that status, but you're still a human being. And you still have hopes and dreams. And you know, as much as you're comfortable to share, and you're still in your 20s, I want to know what you want to try and be.
Yeah, if I had a chance, I like to continue my education. That's the main topic because, like I said, I'm the only one amongst my family who had a chance to go to the university. So, my sister's future and my brother were put to sacrifice for me.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I try to console myself. As long as I'm alive, and I will have a chance. So that's the very reason why I'm attending 2 classes in hoping that somehow I can get a scholarship.
I really hope you get to see that through and you get the opportunity.
Be like one time.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's phone.
It's my mother.
Oh.
Okay. She is with me.
Hello. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Does she call at the same time pretty much every day or different times? Same time?
But today is more often because we have a special occasion here. She want to take part in it.
Yes, please. Yeah. I guess maybe just can ask her what she hopes of her children here.
အမေဒီမှာငါတို့ဒါဒီမှာရောက်တဲ့ကလေးတွေကိုကလေးနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့အမေဘာမျှော်လင့်ချက်ရှိလဲ
Oh, ngata auto sih jenis, tapi jenis jauh dari yang itu sih jenis awak.
Yeah, basically she said that she want me to continue education. So
Yeah.
they like to attend the graduation ceremony after all. So yeah.
That's her dream as well, I think.
Yeah.
Bismillah kan. Satu pengalaman yang sangat-sangat penting untuk saya alami. Perbualan, mengenali sedikit sebanyak seorang individu. Manusia ni walaupun datang daripada tempat yang berbeza, ada aspirasi tertentu yang sama lah. Beza yang sangat ketara ialah orang macam saya dan kebanyakan rakyat Malaysia ada peluang yang cerah ataupun separa cerah. Tapi orang macam Ahmad dan ramai pelarian Myanmar, jalan untuk mencapai cita-cita tu sangat-sangat kabur.
Bersatu sekali sekarang dah makin ramai. Dulu sikit je, tak ramai. Sekarang dah ramai, diorang pun dah sama dengan kita, diorang dah jadi workforce kat sini. I think you pun can see that.
Yeah.
Bagi saya, ada kebaikan, ada keburukan. Kebaikan apa adalah, okey, contoh, dia orang punya sewa di sini, the best payment. Problem dia, tidak ada kebersihan.
Saya percaya begini, kemungkinan cara hidup, saya cakap cara hidup mereka ini, kerana dia orang terpaksa mencari makan dengan cara-cara yang agak tak sama atau tak teli dengan rakyat Malaysia. Di mana pertama kita tahu mereka tidak boleh bekerja. Cuma di luaran oleh kerana tidak ada kawalan dari sudut pekerjaan apa semua, menyebabkan mereka rasa itulah yang dia orang mampu buat.
Where do you want to go in KL and Malaysia if you can?
Downtown, definitely downtown. I
You
never
go-
gone. Yeah. And the night.
You want to see the towers and all that?
Yeah, I have heard that the nightlife of the KL was pretty amazing.
Is it? Okay. I don't know, I'm a good boy, so I just stay at home. Yeah.
Are you implying that I will be the good boy if I got a chance?
You are the young one here. I'm the slightly elderly one who
So,
doesn't know anything about nightlife.
I'm getting to see the fact that marriage changes the people.
What marriage changes people? You're not wrong. But actually, the one that changes more is a child. So I have a daughter.
Oh, okay.
That changes you a lot more. Yeah. So just maybe today, just go around here, near my school,
Yeah.
and then let's chat a bit more. Some people in Malaysia consider the refugees to be a difficulty, a nuisance. How does that make you feel? Do you think?
Everything has bad side and good side. So we cannot judge a book by its cover. I have heard of some incidents where the Malaysian people bully the refugee, but at the same time there's the Malaysian people helping out the refugee people.
I think you said don't judge a book by its cover. For me, don't judge a community by individuals.
Yeah.
This is the secondary school. So my father would drop me off here and we'll walk in How did you go to school? Did you walk?
I have to walk 30 minutes.
Wow, okay. I think we all watched the video. That's that viral video of that woman doing the
Aerobic.
yes, the aerobic dance, and then there was all the military vehicles at the background.
I would say outrageous, because I was quite angry. I illegally involved in a protest.
You were involved in a protest after the coup.
Yeah. One of my acquaintances got shot and then died on the spot. It gives you like a harrowing feelings, like you watch your people die, you watch your friends die, and then you wasn't able to do anything about it. The civil war has been raging in Myanmar for 70 years. So when you see the refugee camp, the people who are displaced internally, they are in pretty rough shape. I had to help people, but at the same time, I like to extend my future potential.
I think both, hopefully you can achieve both, Ahmad. You can fulfill your potential, at the same time contribute back to a more hopeful future for Myanmar. Shall we get you back to Selayang?
Yeah.
Come.
I really hope that you enjoy the meal.
I enjoyed the meal tremendously, and I enjoyed our conversation even more.
Yeah.
It was lovely getting to know you. Take care.